Good evening, Flyers fans, and welcome to Clear the Ice, a Flyers postgame show here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Your boy, Matty B, is on the call on this lovely Saturday night, and boy, oh boy, couple observations here tonight for me. Observation number one, for all those people out there that have been enjoying this season, have been reveling in the resurgence of the Philadelphia Flyers, rightfully so. They played well as a young up-and-coming team. This game here, this result against this team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, puts the Flyers in their proper place. Should put everything in the proper perspective of where the Flyers are and where the Stanley Cup contenders are. All right? The Flyers are leaps and bounds away from achieving their goal. And this game was a splash of cold water in the reality face of the 25-26 Flyers. This was a complete and utter dominating performance by a team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, operating on a whole other level. The Flyers were lifeless, listless. Injuries are a factor for this team. I don't know if Christian Dvorak was skating around with his new 5-year contract, counting his money while he's sitting on the bench, but he sure as hell wasn't playing hockey, along with the rest of the team. Denver Barkey. I'm not going to get too much. This kid's young, he's a rookie, and he's going to have games like this. Was his welcome to the NHL game. You got to be playing every single goddamn play in this league at 100 miles an hour. You can't take plays off. You can't expect to be as sort of turbocharged down there, on the NHL ice versus how you were on major, junior, even in the AHL ice. The game is faster up here. You can never take a play off or a moment off. You got to play 100 miles an hour all the time. That's why only 1% of the 1% of the world's best hockey players ever make it and excel at the NHL. And he had that moment tonight. Not a good game. And then observation number 3, my more condemning observation, because how many more times do I got to stick my face in the Sam Ersson fan before I realize that this hurts too much? Sam Ersson was pathetic tonight. Pathetic. I don't know what other word I can use to describe the performance from Sam Ersson. Granted, it wasn't the cleanest defensive game in front of him. But when you're dealing with players like Kucherov, when you're dealing with players like Gonkovs, who I don't know where this guy came from. He's 22 goals. He averages about, going into this season, having a great season. But when you're playing against these types of players, you're obviously not ready. I don't know if you ever will be, but you're not ready. And you don't fit here. I don't want to see any more of Sam Ersson. And I don't know how much more. Again, I think I put this up on social media earlier in the week. And I've been on Ersson, riding him like a goddamn rented mule. How much more do we need to see from Sam Ersson? Or more importantly, how much more do the Flyers need to see from Sam Ersson to understand that this is not the answer? Now, there is one pivotal position here that might be holding back the Flyers. Well, probably there's multiple, but Ersson's out of options. So you can't, it's not a matter of sending him down. You got to DFA him, and he's got to go unclaimed before he can make it back down to Lehigh. But really, I mean, does it matter anymore if he's makes it through waivers and accepts the assignment to Lehigh? Does it really matter? There's no spectrum that this guy even fits in the plan anymore. You got you got Kovalsov, you got Bjornsson down there in Lehigh. They are the next 2 contestants up on The Price is Right. It's time. One of them's got to come up here and be a backup. I just don't think. Now, is it going to be worse? I don't know how it can be worse. I mean, Sam Ersson literally is just gives away everything. I've never seen a goalie so prone to go down the butterfly. This guy is on the ground prior to the shot even being fired. He opens up the entire net for you as a shooter as you're preparing to shoot. He is serving up goals on silver platters. And again, the Flyers did not do anything tonight to assist him. But 7 goals. Now, granted, they rode him because at one point in this game with the Flyers' anemic offense, what are we going to do here, right? I mean, leave him in there. You don't want to waste Vladar. You got a day off tomorrow. Put Vladar back out on Monday. But I hope that we hear something in the course of the next couple hours, the next 24 hours, prior to Monday night's game, that the Flyers have moved on from Sam Ersson. There's nothing more left to see with this. Matter of fact, this thing reached expiration back in November. And Ersson tonight, just pathetic. Pathetic. All of that equals a 7-2 Flyer loss tonight down in the arena. And howdy, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday night. It's good to be back with you, live programming here on the network as we enter into our Saturday evening. Adam says, Sam Ersson sucks. Sam Ersson sucks. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Adam, I don't know what else to say. Again, Flyers did not do much for him. Right from the very beginning of this game, when you lose a count, we're going to break goals down. We are going to break the goals down. We're going to break down 8 of the 9. I gave up at the end. I'm like the hell with the 7th goal. It was Gonkov's again. I'm like, you know what? I'm not breaking that one down. But we're going to break down 8 of these 9 goals tonight. And right from the beginning, the Flyers did not help Ersson. I want to be very clear with that. They put him in the worst positions against some of the best players in the world to fail. And he did. From the first goal with the Kucherov, how do you lose accountability of Nikita Kucherov on the ice? I mean, I get it. There's a lot of players at this league. You know what? He's behind me. Yeah, to hell with it. But Kucherov, McDavid, Crosby, there's probably about 25 of them. Right off their names should be hung up in every locker room. Do not lose accountability of these individuals while they're skating around. And the Flyers lost accountability of Nikita Kucherov right in front of their doorstep, leaving Sam Ersson, who probably would not make that save 100 times out of 100. And we got off to a bad start. So I'm not putting it all on Ersson. I really am not. But I am putting enough on Ersson. The tipping his saves, the going down in the butterfly way too early, opening up that entire half of net. All you got to do is just shoot it up, and shoot it far side, because the entire far side and it's elevated. It's all there all the time with Sam Ersson. Vladar has that tendency too. But Ersson's just it's reached the point, man. Don't need to see him anymore. Don't need to see him anymore. Sam Ersson goes way down too early. They shoot over his shoulder. Yeah, just everything I just droned on about. You're right, Flyers. They did not do well tonight. Mickey Delaney. Oh no, it's Matt Mann shit. It must be bad. Yeah, and that's a good point there, Ryan. No, listen, my record here as a host of this program, it's like was going into this game. I'm leading the way, like 27 points heading into this game tonight. I have had as the host of Clear the Ice. Now there are some constants, it seems, when I do host this show. One is there's a lot of goals scored apparently every time it's a prereq that every time I host one of these post games, I got to break down at least 6 goals. It just seems like that way all the time. And number 2, the constant is I get the more. When I get losses, which I haven't had many, but when I do get them, they're of these infuriating brand, right? And mainly due to the goaltending. And seems like a lot with Ersson, too. Dealt with a lot of Ersson this year. And Ryan smiled. Yeah, I get you, Ryan. But anyway, Flyers lose tonight 7-2 at the hands of the Lightning as they kicked off a rare home and home, not a home and home, but a home 2-game series against the Lightning here in Philadelphia. Game 2 will be Monday at the arena. Sam Ersson will get the start. That's what Taka's going to double down, man. Not only are the Flyers not going to release him, they're going to put him back in net on Monday night. Listen, I'm telling you, I know everyone's attention's focused on the Eagles. Everyone's attention's focused on Eagles-Niners. But if the Flyers don't slide a move underneath their radar up there on the Twitter machine and announce that they have DFA'd Sam Ersson, because you can't send him down. He's out of options. We've gone beyond the point of no return with him. But if they don't do something like that, and I'll be watching. Oh, I'll be watching. And if they don't, I'm going to be pissed. But, man, just a terrible game. But there's more to talk about here. Again, it's not all Ersson. The Flyers did not help him on the defensive side, and they did nothing offensively. You know what? We had no TK tonight. We had no Bobby Brink tonight. Obviously, Tyson Forrester's out long term. Christian Dvorak is counting his money over on the bench. This was Tocchet was mixing and matching lines all night long. And again, this game should be heated by not only the Flyers players, the coaches, the organization, but it should also be heated by the Flyer fans. The Tampa Bay Lightning are a perennial Stanley Cup contender. They're not a playoff team. They're not a squeak in and I hope we get through the first round type of team. No, they are a bona fide perennial Stanley Cup competitor. And tonight, the Flyers saw exactly how far away they are from that status. Does Dan Vladar help things out a little bit? Maybe. But Dan Vladar can't put the puck in the net. Vasilevsky was his usual dominant self tonight. As it just really was, it was almost embarrassing. Let's call it what it was. It was almost an embarrassing game for the Flyers, and a cold hard reality. But sometimes these games, they have a positive effect. You know, maybe they refocus their attentions. It's not been a good month for the Flyers so far. Just one win in January thus far. But obviously, we're only, 10, 11 days in. But just not a very good win, not a very good game tonight for the Flyers. Where is Michkov at? Michkov was he in the lineup tonight? I didn't remember seeing. Let's see, was Michkov a scratch? You're right. I don't remember seeing Michkov at all. No, Michkov. Don't know where Michkov was. Let's look at this. Let's look at the box score. Let's take a look at that. Let's look at his line tonight. You're right. I don't remember seeing Michkov on the ice, but he served and played 17 minutes of ice time tonight. Matt B. Michkov, 17 minutes and 10 seconds. He finished the night with a -3 on his sheet, meaning that he was on the ice for 3 negative plays, 3 goals. Had 2 shots. He had a block shot. You're right. And that's another problem. Again, I'm sitting here telling you, Adam, that I'm not putting this all on the heels of Sam Ersson. Michkov disappeared, right? It was a reality check. And the Michkov craze and the Michkov stuff. Listen, guys, I have real concerns about Matvei Michkov. Real concerns. I don't think he is who we think he is. Not that he won't be a competent player, but I don't know if he's somebody you're building a franchise around. Maybe he's just another role player, and we desperately need more than that. And that makes the Christian Dvorak contract that more infuriating to me, that we're going out and signing a fourth-line centerman, a bottom 6 forward, to a 5-year, over $25 million hit. And it shows a little concern, in my opinion, about the Flyers' prospect pool. And of course, the pending free agent market and all that. But 17 minutes and 10 seconds of ice time for Matvei Michkov tonight. And Adam is a good point. I don't remember any of it. I don't remember seeing number 39 in the entire game. And that's a point in itself that's very disturbing. Ersson must have been. Yeah, he was. Mike, he was in net. The whole game. Every brutal second of it. Every brutal. Kucherov, 4 points tonight, 2 goals, 2 assists, and gets the award for the easiest goal of the night, given up by the Flyers early on in this game, as the Flyers lost accountability of Nikita Kucherov on the ice. I called him Khrushchev. It's the former Russian premier. But again, there's players out there. There's a bunch of them at this level that you always got to have accountability where he is. And Kucherov is one of them. And the Flyers didn't listen to that memo tonight as they let Kucherov get behind them and start the scoring. So let's get into breaking some of this because I got a lot of goals to get into. Again, we're breaking down 8 of the 9. I'm not breaking down the 9th. I'm tired of it. Tired. I don't want to break down 9 goals. You got the point. So for the Flyers tonight, they did a healthy scratch, or they did not activate tonight. Travis Konechny, Adam Ginning, and Bobby Brink, which was obviously enough to send the offense into a downward spiral because Direct Tocchet's attempt to sort of mix and match lines as they went through this game did not work. There's not enough offensive firepower to battle the Lightning when it's a game like this, even if they had all the complement of players. For the Lightning, it was Curtis Douglas, Simone Ludmark, and Jack Finley not active tonight. In the net, let's get to it. In the net for the Lightning, Vasilevsky, again, maybe the top 3 goalies in the league, top 5 in the world, faced 20 shots, made 18 saves, finishes with a .900 save percentage. Just another day in the office for him. And for the Flyers, Sammy Ersson faced 23 shots, 7 goals given up. Listen to this save. Finishes with a .696 save percentage. Gives up 7 goals on 23 shots. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it wasn't like the Lightning were peppering Ersson for 40 shots. The Flyers, again, had very critical breakdowns in this game that led to some really good scoring opportunities. It did. And I'm not putting all these goals on Ersson, but at the end of the day, he only faced 23 shots and he gave up 7 goals. There's something to that on the goalie side. Okay. There's no denying that. So a .696 save percentage for Sam Ersson. So, all right, let's get it started. Again, the aforementioned Nikita Kucherov would get the scoring going for the Tampa Bay Lightning early on, less than 2 minutes into this hockey game, as he would get the Lightning up 1-0. This was the goal that set the tone for the night. You knew bad things were coming after this thing. Not only that it was Kucherov, obviously, but the type of goal that it was really kind of, again, it set a tone for the game, and we're going to break this bad boy down. So it was Kucherov's 21st of the season from Braden Point, his 17th at the 1:49 mark of the first period to give Tampa the 1-0 lead. And here we go. Let's key up the goal. So we got the Lightning entering into the Flyer zone. Pick up the action at center ice, actually. So let's roll the tape. So I want to count right now. It's interesting because we got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 Philadelphia Flyers surrounding 1 puck. Which okay. I mean, hey, we're all on the pursuit, but you can also see what is that? That's Denver Barkey right here. He's going to be key in this play as well. But again, a bad night for him. But he's going to have games like this. He's starting out his career. But Barkey, you can see him starting already sort of realize that there doesn't need to be 4 people chasing 1 puck. So he's getting ready to kind of break off the pursuit and set up his natural defensive position, which is a smart thing to do as the Flyers do gain possession. Then Tippett's going to come around and he's going to attempt a very bad pass. I don't know. I understand hockey. But when you're in a position like this, why can't you just get it floated up out of the zone, clear the zone so we can reset? Now, Barkey's going to have the puck in a real bad spot. He's going to make a blunder move here. It tries to give it back to Tippett. Puck is turned over, and it's going to go back the other way. But before we go back the other way, let's take a look at what we got here. So you got Cam York seemingly in really good position on this play. He's squared up to the puck carrier. He's got what he needs to do. But there's one problem, and I want to roll the tape back, and I want to show you what that one problem is. The one problem is this guy down here at the bottom of your screen. Oh, number 86. Remember him? Remember the player I just mentioned of being on that real short list of players that you'd never forget where they are on the ice when they are? Well, that's Kucherov down there, staying at the bottom of your screen. Nobody's even paying attention to him, as all 1, 2, 3, 4 Flyer attackers or Flyer players have their eye on Tippett and the puck. Now I'm going to let it roll, and I want you to keep an eye on the bottom of the screen. Now, you can't see what's going to happen, but Kucherov is just going to sit down. He's just going to head towards the net while the play is going back the other way. Now, remember this little configuration right here? Boom. Cam York, right? Look at that. He's in that good position. He's got his eyes. He's making sure nothing's coming up the front, making sure he's got a good little squared up to the puck carrier. Well, there's one problem, Cam. Look behind you. Just because you let one of the best players in the world sit down inside the zone, and now you got 3 Flyers. No one even aware that Kucherov is there, because even in that instance, when Point was trying to, decide what he was going to do with the puck, he begins to stick handle. So Cam York, even at that moment in time, had the opportunity to recover and look over his shoulder and say, oh, there's number 86. I might want to get back there. But he doesn't. And they find a wide open Nikita Kucherov sitting down, licking his lips, as he will put a shot that he'll beat Urson 100 times out of 100 doing. And you got yourself a 1-0 lead to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, again, does this goal go on Urson? 50%, yeah. Because once again, we got a goalie that's going to go down. But I can't throw this one completely on him, because there was a complete defensive breakdown by the Flyers that led to that. I don't know. How do you lose sight of Kucherov on the ice? That'd be like me losing sight of McDavid. Like, oh, there's Connor. Does anybody want to? He was here a second ago, but where did he? You just don't lose sight of players like that. So we have 1-0 Lightning, but the Flyers get things rolling here. The little life. About 3 minutes later, Garnet Hathaway gets finally on the score sheet this season. His first goal of the year from Nielsen and Apples to make it 1-1 at 4:15. And let's key up the goal. We got to be interested in all the Flyers goals, because there's only 2 of them. So we got to really, really take heart in them. So let's wait for this thing to load up. So the Flyers are going to actually have this play is going to begin behind Tampa's net here, as the Flyers will attempt to get back in this game. And, beat Vasilevsky like this, I kind of had some faith here, right? Early in the game, you took the shot, you got your nose bloody, but you come right back up, and here, let's roll the tape. So we're going to pick up action behind the Lightning net, and we're going to have a good play here. The Flyers are going to force the turnover. Hathaway gets the turnover. He's going to come right back out. Flyers are going to, stand around and play with the puck for a bit before somebody does something with it. But again, you can look at Hathaway just kind of sit down. He's looking for his spot. He's going to set that screen, because it's going to come right back out to that point. It's a really good angle on this goal. I love this type of stuff. And then we're going to get a shot, and then a nice little stick tip right there in front. Beautiful deflection. And that's how you do it, man. And the Flyers are squared up 1-1 on the first goal of the season by Garnet Hathaway. Beautiful play there with the tip. That was nice. You got to do them some other way. So we got 1-1, but that would not last long, because at the 6:05 mark, about 2 minutes later, old number 86, Nikita Kucherov, will strike again, his 22nd goal of the year from Point and Diostos at the 6:05 mark to give Tampa the ultimate 2-1 lead. And let's bring this goal up. I like watching Nikita Kucherov goals. I like watching Connor McDavid goals. They're just always so fun to see when you watch a player who can play like this so effortlessly. And, you got to be in all of it. You got to be. It's just the way it is. So let's bring up the goal here from Kucherov. His second of the game, his second of the period. And we're going to pick up the play behind the Tampa net. As this is going to be a coast-to-coast move here by one of the best players in the world. really nothing. Look at that, man. It's all the kinds of, I guess there's a line change happening because we're just going to sit back here and wait for everything to develop. Wow, that's a lot of time, man. It's chilling. And here we go. And guess who has the puck? That you don't need to know. If you don't know, now you do. That's Kucherov. This little point past the point, and Kucherov is going to just run the middle, as any good center would do, and then he's going to get the puck back. Nice little standing screen. He's going to find his way, pick, and he's going to throw up a wild shot from bad ice, and he's going to beat Urson as Urson again goes down. This time it was short side, I believe. I don't think they got him far side on that. I think that kind of went short side. We'll take a look at it again, but I would love to get all technical with you on this goal, but there's nothing really to be technical about. It was a very simple return pass from Brandon Point, and Kucherov's just going to run his way through the seam, and the Flyers defense does a pretty good job here. They're going to push him out to that bad ice area, the dot to the wall, and Kucherov's just going to wind and fire, and just going to beat a bad goaltender. As Urson goes down, it was far side. It was not short side. He goes down again. Just wait for Urson to drop to his knees, which he will do 99.9% of the time too early. And then that entire side of the net will open up, put some elevation or lift on your shot, and you got about a 90% chance of scoring. And that was a very innocent play that should have been saved. That was a Sam Urson goal that needs to be saved. Again, let's look at it again. Brandon Point just goes right back to Kucherov. The Flyers defense did okay. The job here is to push him away from the net. Ristolainen does that, kind of doesn't give him that, pushes him out to bad ice. Kucherov just wildly fires and just freaking beats Urson on his knees. It's like freaking comedy, man. And it's 2-1 Tampa at this point. And that is how we will finish the first period. 2-1 Lightning as they go to the first period intermission. Flyers and Lightning. Flyers actually outshot Tampa in the first period 8-7. So let's move on to the second period recap. Lightning would increase their 2-1 lead to 3-1 at the 13:37 mark as Nick Paul. Things settled down, though, for the Flyers. I got to give them that. Things did settle down for the majority part of that second period. It wasn't like Urson was making saves, right? But the Flyers clamped down their defense a bit. And they weren't getting much offense going, but they did have their defense clamped down. And they regulated, but I don't know. It's the Lightning, I guess. Nick Paul, his 5th from Diostas, his 13, and Cirelli, his 14th to make it 3-1 Lightning at this point. Let's bring up this goal. I think is this the Risto goal? Is this the one that really pisses me off? This is the goal that tells me that the Flyers were just sort of sleepwalking through this game. I think this is the one. It's hard to keep track of all of them, but we're gonna bring up the tape on this goal here. Right. Let me share this out. All right, so we're gonna pick up play coming out of the Tampa zone as Flyers got a little bit of a back check happening here, trying to kind of force the issue. Try and generate some offense, but sometimes when you back check, you're going to leave a little bit of a gap here, and the Lightning are going to exploit it. But again, this is the goal. So Ristolainen here, Keystone Cop in this play. This man made the Olympic team for his country, by the way. Terrible attempt to get the puck up the wall, gives up the turnover here, but the Flyers got this pretty well defended, very well actually. We're going to get a shot. This is going to be a beautiful save by Urson, or not beautiful block by Sealer. It's going to come back out. Flyers are a little disheveled. Urson's squared up. They're waiting for him to go down. He makes the nice save. Got to give credit there, but then they just can't let the Lightning just sort of crash the goal mouth there. Couturier is kind of with his back to the play. And there you go, 3-1. So that was a defensive problem with the Flyers. Urson did okay there. The only thing I could critique, or two things I'll critique on, is the fact that he ended up giving a goal up. But he's given up those fat rebounds, and you can't have those either. So it's 3-1 Lightning at this point as the Flyers are starting to sink. But that would be it Heading into your second period intermission, it's 3-1. The Lightning and Flyers both had 8 shots apiece for the second period. So here we go into the third, and it was the Gonkov's show in the third period as he would get the Lightning up 4-1 at 2:03. And this is when it pretty much, I think it just kind of got away from the Flyers here as they were, I think, pressing a bit to try to create offense, which was creating the boomerang effect when it came to defense. A lot of odd man rushes started coming back the other way. And the Flyers simply cannot skate with a team like Tampa when it's like that. When they have all the momentum and they're skating downhill, the Flyers are just not going to do well against a team like that. They're just not built that way. They're not good enough, all the above. So let's bring up this goal. Gonclaves, whatever his name is. And we're going to pick up the play as we are going to go back into the Tampa zone. And it's just going to be, there's Mitch Koff. There he is. That's the first time I saw him all night. So there we go. Again, let's just watch and learn. Nikita Kucherov with his 4-point night. This is, yeah. And that's Travis Sanheim too. He made the Olympics as well. Just going to represent Team Canada. Yeah, just an ugly goal, right? All around. Flyers kind of a lot of standing around. There's nothing spectacular about this. Kucherov, nice little pass, but then everybody's out of position. Sanheim's late to come and crash, and then again, we're going to wait till Urson goes down, and we're going to lift it far side. It's the recipe is out on how to score on Sam Urson. So there you go. Just a bad goal. Another bad goal. Bad defensive goal and a bad goaltending goal. And it's now 4-1 Tampa at this point of the third period. About maybe a minute and change later, Brandon Hagel is 21st of the goal from Jake Gunsel and Sorelli to make it 5-1 Tampa. Let's bring this thing up. Now it's going to just start getting silly a little bit here with the odd man rushes and the breakaways and all this other nonsense. So, let's bring it up. Where we are here. All right, here we go. Let's roll the tape. So again, play is going to come out of Tampa's zone. Barkey with the gets a shot blocked. Then of course we're pressing, so everybody's playing up. So you got maybe one defender back, potentially two. I think you got one here at this point. Barkey is getting hooked and getting harassed as he's trying to get back up the ice. This is what I'm talking about. You can't. You gotta skate. You gotta skate at this level. This ain't juniors, and he just gets beat, and boom. So we had the turnover by Barkey in the first period that led to a goal, and then he gets outworked, out hustled, out skated. Leads to a breakaway, and again, 100 times out of 100 times, Sam Erson's not going to make that save, and it's now 5-1. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to, but this is not what you would call the cleanest of breakaways. There was some reaching going on to get the puck. Let's take a look at Urson. What's his actions here? Look at Urson. Let's get him in the frame. So he comes out a little bit, but then he goes right back into that butterfly. And he's not even waiting for the shooter to commit, and he's going down. That's what's killing me about this. It's not the butterfly style in itself. 99.9% of the goalies in this league use butterfly. He's not even waiting for the commit of the shooter. He's just going into it, and he's opening up that entire side, and everything is far side against him. And now it's 5-1, and the route is on, as they say. But the Flyers would make it 5-2 on the power play. That's positive. Owen Tippett, his 14th, and that's also positive to see him score. And Christian Dvorak, his 19th assist of the season as he was skating down the ice, and all the $20 bills are flying out of his shorts there at the 4:45 mark of the third period, make it 5-2. We are going to look at this goal because, again, there was some minimal amount of Flyers goals tonight. I want to look at them all, and this will be the last one anyway, and we'll look at one more Tampa goal. But good to see Owen Tippett get on the score column, right? Even in a blowout. And of course, it's always good to have a power play goal, even in a blowout, especially for this team. So I'm pulling positives. I'm trying to be positive here as much as I can be. Oh, all right. We're going to pick up play right here on the face-off inside the Lightning zone on the power play. Dvorak is going to take the draw here. The new $25 million man. There's Tippett. He's right behind Dvorak, and you probably can already tell what's going to happen here as the Flyers are going to get set. Obviously, winning this draw is going to be crucial to set up this goal. And again, these are all positive things he does, and then it's just going to set up perfectly for Tippett, who's just going to wind, and thankfully he hits the net, and he scores. So there you go. And he had Michkov crashing down low, so that's also positive to see. But Flyers get the goal, make it 5-2. Beautiful power play, execution, nice face-off win. Tippett, his shot was on the net, not wide, about 30 feet. I mean, again, positive things. I'm pulling positives. But then Yanni Gourde would make it 6-2 about 5 minutes later, or 4 minutes later. His 6 from Gurgurnius, his sons, or Gregenison's, his third assist to make it 6-2. And we'll pull that one up. This is the last goal we're breaking down. I'm not breaking down the last Gonclave goal. I'm not going to do it. I got tired of clipping goals at this point. You know, I did. I'm sorry. Sorry. Professional integrity be damned. I was done. But and they were coming so fast there at the end of the game that I couldn't keep up with it. Twitter couldn't keep up with it. So I was like, the hell with it. But let's put it up. All right. So here we go. Flyers are going to try to add a zone entry, and guess what? It's not going to work. Zegras is going to come in. Just holding on the puck way too long, and guess what? We got to take away. Actually, that's going to be a turnover, as it's going to start the odd man rush the other way. And again, when you're pushing and you're trying to pressure, you give up a lot on the offense or the defensive side of things, and just place your bets here where he's going to put this one. Is he going to go high? Look at that, man. He goes high and near side this time. So he does mix it up a little bit, but everything is elevated because guess who went down in the butterfly once again way too early to make it 6-2. And there you have it, man. 6-2. 6-2 at this point. And then the cherry on top, again, Goncalves, his 6th goal, 2nd of the night from Kucherov, his 4th point of the night. And Braden Point, I think he had 3 points on the night at the 11-minute mark to make it 7-2. And that's your final. The Flyers were outshot 8-4 in that third period. And mercifully, the game ended. Flyers finished tonight with 20 shots. Lightning, 23 shots, 7 goals on 23 shots. Simply amazing. The Flyers were 1 for 2 on their power play, which, again, is a positive thing to pull out of this. And they were also 2 for 2 killing penalties tonight. So their special teams has been under scrutiny for a while this season, but they did okay tonight. They took the puck away 5 times, gave it away 14, and blocked 14 shots. So there you have it. A come to Jesus moment tonight down there at the arena for the Philadelphia Flyers as they were absolutely steamrolled by the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you saw just how far the Flyers are from where they want to be. Okay. Goaltending, atrocious. Defense, key breakdowns at the wrong times. Offense, non-existent. And Christian Dvorak making $25 million over the next 5 years. All recipes for disaster. And tonight, it was on display. So, Flyers will now regroup, reset, and on Monday night, I wonder if Vasilevsky will play Monday night for the Lightning. I bet you he will. And hopefully Vidar gets to start. And hopefully we have another new backup. I hope that this is it and that we don't have to see Urson anymore. And I'm not being hateful here. It's just not working. And it's not getting any better. It's almost a guaranteed loss at this point when Urson gets in net. And I just don't see a reason to continue with the bloodshed. I mean, you have to have especially the way the Flyers are and the way Tocchet seems to be running them. I mean, we don't have a starter. I got you. Vladar's not the man. He's not. But he's playing well. You got to ride that hot hand, but he can't play every game. And you got to have somebody in net that gives you at least a chance. And Vladar does give you a chance when he's in net. Urson gives you no chance when he's in net. And you got to have somebody that can. Now, I'm not saying Kovalsov will be that guy. I'm not saying Bjornsson will be that guy, but they were drafted high enough in their draft year, second and third round respectively. I'm sorry. That was Bjornsson and Zarajin. So Bjornsson was taken in the second round. So there's some draft capital spent on all three of them's goalies. Actually, a lot of draft capital was spent. It's time to unleash at least one of them up here as a backup, because I just don't see any other way. You're going out with Urson, it's a guaranteed loss at this point. Anyway, extra final 7-2. Jorge says, "What's up? How you doing?" I will. I was great. How was your day? And Jose checks in, says the Rams today game was, yes, it was awesome game, by the way. And I really thought the Panthers were going to pull it off at the end. Really did. But the Rams prevailed. And they're moving on to the divisional round. And this game, the Flyers are moving on home tonight, as they will wait till Monday to get hopefully revenge over the Lightning down there at the arena. Don't forget, here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, your day today was dominated with a lot of best of stuff from the week that was here on the network. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We replayed most of it, if not all of it. But tomorrow we're back to regularly scheduled programming, 9 a.m., the AM Philly Sports Show, followed up by some Eagles 49er postgame, and then me later on with the final word. So back to live programming tomorrow on the network starting at 9 a.m. Make sure you're tuned in. And on the Clear the Ice program, Monday night, we'll get this thing fired back up again. Mike Lara will have you for the second half of this home with the Lightning. He'll be also back with you on Wednesday against the Sabres, and then I got you going into the back end of next week, into next weekend. Thursday night with the Penguins, and Saturday night against the Rangers is when I'll have you. So keep your eye on the ice, and let's have some fun with this. Flyers lose tonight 7-2 in an atrocious night by Sam Ersson. A come-to-Jesus moment for the Philadelphia Flyers and their fan base. Denver Barkey had his welcome to the NHL game as well, as the Flyers were no match for the Tampa Bay Lightnings. And in the immortal words of the late, great Gene Hart, good night and good hockey. We'll see you soon.